What's going on, guys? My name is Arrow, and in today's video, we are talking about my endurance charge stacking Juggernaut Tectonic Slam build. If you want huge AoE, stay tuned. All right, so let's dive right in. Why endurance charge stacking? Well, number one, I found an endurance charge stacking relic, so I wanted to make use of it. And as typical with this channel, when I find a mechanic I'm interested in, I want to see how far I can min-max that particular thing. So we are not going to use the endurance charge belt that gives you triple damage. We are actually going to use endurance charges to the max. So with all of the items that we have, including our rings, weapon, ascendancy, forbidden flesh and flame jewels, sublime vision, all of this stuff put together, we're going to talk about how much you can get out of endurance charges, and it is pretty crazy. So let's jump in. So each endurance charge gives us 5% physical damage reduction, gives us 4 to all elemental res, it gives us 4 chaos res, 0.7% life regen, 7% critical strike chance, 32% increased damage from a bunch of different sources, 9% AoE, 5% increased armor, and 4% more damage from the endurance charge on melee stun gem. There are some other buffs that we get from having maximum endurance charges, like 8% elemental damage reduction from Juggernaut's unrelenting node. When you combine it all together, 13 endurance charges gives us 65% physical damage reduction, 52 all res, 52 chaos res, 9.1% life regen, 91% critical strike chance, 416% increased damage, 117% increased AoE, and 65% more AoE, 65% increased armor, and 52% more damage. Each individual endurance charge is a massive multiplier to our offense, defense, and AoE, and really has made for a super fun build to put together. We're not going to go through every single gear piece on this build. We're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to go through things faster and try to get you out and playing this build if you want to. Basically what we did, we used an eventuality rod, which gives you a base endurance charge, and then we crafted it up a bit to get some good physical and fire damage. We have +1 endurance charge on each of our rings, as well as some other bonuses from the precursors. Now these are pretty hard to find, but you can still get them. We use sublime vision to get another additional endurance charge, but that limits us only to using determination for auras. However, we can still use things like Herald of Ash, Herald of Purity, and Blood and Sand. The defenses on this build actually end up being pretty impressive. After our Enduring Cry goes off, we get additional physical damage reduction per endurance charge, and that actually takes us to 90 physical damage reduction for a few seconds after we do our Enduring Cry, and that is the cap. You can't even go higher than that. So our 90,000 armor isn't even being applied. But when we're not in that state, right after our Enduring Cry, we have 90,000 armor to help mitigate the rest of the physical damage. We're pretty much always at 90 physical damage reduction, I believe, against any hit in the entire game that is physical based. We get our max res up to about 79. We have really good regen, about 1,000. On top of that, we have another 1,000 life leech. So our recovery is really good. We also use a Progenesis, which feels like just a great defensive layer to add to any build, but it's even better on builds that have really good life recovery, which we have. We end up with some pretty impressive defensive numbers. It feels very great to play. We can, you go into the Minotaur fight, you can easily tank pretty much anything in there. You just stand there and attack, do a couple of Frozen Legions, and you're good to go. So speaking of Frozen Legion, that is our secondary source of damage. Tectonic Slam's damage in this build is not really designed for single targets. So what we did was we added a 6 link in our weapon for Frozen Legion. In order to make Frozen Legion more powerful for this build, because we do fire damage, is we use a cold to fire gem, which converts the natural cold damage of Frozen Legion over to fire, and then we pen that. The current state of the build, we get about 10 million damage per swing if you have all of your charges up. Now, this is not a boss killer. I would not play this build if you want to do bosses, but we did a bunch of invitations. We killed the Eater and the Exarch. It wasn't super comfy, but we did it. Really what this build is for tanky mapping, blasting huge screens with one hit at a time. We leap slam fast and we can get around really quick. It's super, super fun to play. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to check out my Twitch. I am live almost every single day, and I will be right after this video comes out. Twitch.tv/AER0__. Link in the description. Also, a link to my Patreon will be down there. If you want to see your name at the end of the videos, like you will see in a few seconds, you can go ahead and join up there. I appreciate you all so much. As always, take care.